Hello class, in this video I will be introducing the concept of a set along with some of the terminology used when discussing sets. Let's begin. A set is a well-defined collection of objects in which it is possible to determine if a given object is included in the collection. Element is the word used to indicate that an object is within a set. The following symbols are all used when discussing sets. I'm going to highlight those symbols in green. This activity is designed to introduce the symbols and create a definition for each. All right. We will start with the universal set. And the universal set is usually labeled with a capital U. And in this example, the universal set is the set 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. We also have two subsets of the universal set. First is the set A, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And the set B, which is 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And question A asks to list all the elements of A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first start out by writing out the set. The elements of set A are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So all I'm going to do is write them out in a list. And at first, this list may look really similar to set A. However, notice that set A has braces around the list, and the answer that's boxed does not have braces. So if we do not include any braces around the elements, this is just called a list. If there are braces around the elements, we call that a set. All right, question B. List all of the elements of B. Well, B is the set 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. So if I want to list the elements, that's going to be 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Again, since the solution has no braces around the elements, we call this a list. Once the braces are placed around the list, that becomes a set. All right, on to question C. The following statements are all true. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all 6 of these statements, and I want you to figure out why all of those statements are true, and then see if you can create on your own a definition for that symbol that I just highlighted in dark blue and this symbol that I just highlighted in purple. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do that now. Welcome back. Were you able to determine what those two symbols represented? Well, if you said that this symbol here represented element of, you would be correct. Because if you take a look at the very first statement that's highlighted in blue, that reads 2 is an element of A. And if you take a look at the second to last statement that's highlighted in blue, that reads 12 is an element of B. And as for the element symbol with the line through it, if you thought that that meant not an element of, you would be correct. The third statement that's highlighted in blue reads 14 is not an element of A. And the last statement states 2 is not an element of B. All right, on to question D. Create a set that contains all of the elements from both A and B. Label your set P. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to list all of the elements from A or from B or from both. So to do that, the list looks like this. It looks like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. All right, now it says label the set P. So right now this is not a set, this is just a list. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place a set of braces around this list. And I'm going to label that P. Okay. Question E. The following statement is true. The set A union B is equal to the set 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And notice that set is identical to the set P that you created in question D. So P is equal to A union B, which is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So the question is, what does the symbol U represent? Well, U is a union of 2 or more sets. And if you take a look at the elements of the union of the 2 sets, A and B, you'll have the following elements. A union B is the set of all elements in A or B or both. All right, and in the next video, I will be introducing the intersection of 2 sets and the complement of a set.